Hello, welcome. Tonight we're doing Cinder's Drift. I was gonna do more near raid, but I don't have it here in me to get carried through a near raid twice in one night, so we're gonna do this thing. Plus I hear good things about it too. And yeah. Let's get into it. Yo, glad you can make it. As you may have heard, Commander Alden has given orders to embark from Alliance headquarters to hold back the advance of the Empire's latest menace. Not that the soldiers stationed there are too chuffed about being on the front lines against new weapons. If they're designed to slay primals, they'd make short work of us mere mortals as well. Mind you, it's Gaius Belzar and his followers who have led the charge so far. By all accounts, they've been given as good as they get. Unfortunately, their stories have met with little success. I dare say they'd benefit greatly from your presence on the battlefield. If you're ready, my colleague over at Port Praetoria will show you the way. He was told to wait for you at the long set of stairs. I imagine he was milling about at the camp, trying not to step on in any chocobo shite. Everything you know is wrong. I wonder how many soldiers survived thanks to these brave birds. I think they deserve extra rations for a moon or two, don't you? I remember reading that a long time ago. On your way to headquarters, I take it. Ooh. This song. To be honest, we weren't sure if you'd ever show up. For one, am glad you decided to throw in your lot with us. Gaius says you are our best hope of defeating that abomination. We have seen only a glimpse of its true power, and even that was more than enough for us. So your mind is set? Then I shall appraise you of the situation. We have discovered that the previously abandoned Ultima Weapon project is being helmed by the reformed 7th Legion. They have already succeeded in producing several prototypes, one of which is set to be deployed on the Eorzean front. Its name, the Ruby Weapon. Severa and I were able to get within striking distance during one of its test runs and made an attempt to destroy it. An attempt that ended in failure at last. Based on our knowledge of their original Ultima weapon, the explosives we employed should have been sufficient to blast through its armor plating, but they barely left a mark. We suspect the gifts of its predecessors may have proven the source of its resilience. As you well know, the Ultima weapon was designed to absorb ether for icons, and the Ruby weapon no doubt shares that ability. If we were summoned during the uprisings in Garlemone's occupied territories, and therefore after consumed, our enemy would become all the more formidable. But its near impenetrable armor was only the beginning of our troubles. It fought back with whip-like claws that can be extended and contracted at will. In the face of such opposition, we were forced to withdraw. Gaius was injured, shielding me from the Ruby weapon's assault. Even now, he struggles to stand. Damn it all. If I hadn't been so careless, this wouldn't have happened. You need not concern yourself. Let us not forget that I am the one who initiated the Ultima Weapon project. If I must give my life to bury this shameful legacy, then so be it. If you were to face it as you are now, you'd be cut down before you even hobbled within firing distance. In any case, we can't afford to lose the information in your head on both the foe we face and the Empire itself. We all know that asking for Yo's assistance presents our best chance of stopping that war machina. 'Tis true that if anyone were capable of putting down such a monstrosity, it would be her. Though I have no right to ask this of you, will you lend us your strength? I'll do the second part of Near Ridge tomorrow. The story in it is too good. Oh. You have my thanks. And mine, though I must impress upon you the urgency of our situation. We have received word that the Empire is preparing to advance on Gimmet Dark. That is where we will intercept them. Not that this story is bad, but near it's different. If our fears are proven correct, the Ruby weapon will be among their hosts. Should it break through our lines, there is no telling the devastation it will wreak. Make no mistake, the very survival of Eorzea hangs in the balance. Once you have steeled yourself for the battle ahead, your escort will lead the way. What price must the world pay for my hubris? A short while earlier in the Garlean-occupied city of World's Magic Tech installation. Commencing Ruby weapon activation sequence. All units stand by. Ooh, that face. Initializing synthetic arthurate system. Fusion successful. No signs of incompatibility. Awaiting your signal. Ruby weapon codenamed Darkness ready for launch. Van Dylan has briefed me on our mission. I am to take you as far as our expected point of contact with the Ruby weapon. Once we arrive, the rest is up to you, I'm afraid. Okay. I Not only are the Ruby weapon's claws as quick as lightning, they move with an uncanny degree of flexibility and can strike from where you least expect it. Though I will not be able to join the battle with the Ruby weapon, I have been tasked with keeping an escape route back to the Eorzean front clear, should you need to make a hasty retreat. Given all we've come to expect from the Ascians, it wouldn't surprise me if they were behind the summoning of whatever finals the Ruby weapon has absorbed. Nope, it's a different thing. Alright, I'll be right back with my trial. Okay, we got ourselves a trial. Would be weapon. What the fuck? I am now Venturinus, come to purify this forsaken land. Well, GG's indeed. I need a keyboard. Even from afar, your figure was unmistakable, as ever an impressive display. Though as I am sure you will concur, the ultimate weapon pales in comparison to this new monstrosity. If their research is allowed to continue, the next model will be nigh unstoppable. With that in mind, the Alliance has enlisted the help of— wait, I hear something. Here to sift through the remains of the ruby weapon, are you? Allie, what do you think you're doing? Allie. Father? It has been too long, Alphonse, and you too, Rex. Given that the Empire is proceeding with the weapon project and making inroads with Eorzea, I suppose it was only a matter of time until our paths crossed. It's wonderful to see you again, Father, although I can't say I think much of the company you've been keeping. I know a lot's happened, but I'm just glad you're alright, and now you can come back to Garlemald with us. My days serving the Empire are over. Because you're suspected of assassinating Emperor Varys? But we know you'd never do a thing like that. There must be a way to prove your innocence. Then everything can go back to the way it was. So he found you two shivering on the roadside when he was going through work. Lucky for you, eh? If he hadn't, we'd probably be dead by now. As for us three, our parents all died in an epidemic. We'd be begging on street corners if it weren't for him. I just wish there was a way we could repay Lord Gaius for all the kindness he's shown us. He fights for the Empire, so we should too. That'll make him proud of us. You're saying we should join the army. I don't think that's such a good idea. Everyone in Rurlit was scared of the Garleans. Why would we want to be like them? Lord Gaius is different. I know he is. You're right. He always says that the strong should lead the weak. Maybe that's why he took us in. Alright, if becoming a soldier is what it takes, I'll do it. Who's with me? Count me in, and maybe one day people will look up to us like we do Lord Gaius. Then it's settled. From now on, we're all brothers and sisters fighting for the same cause. Brothers and sisters, and that would make Lord Gaius our father? Well, if he doesn't mind us calling him that, I suppose so. And that makes you our big brother, since you're the oldest. You'd better be nice to us or I'm telling Father. Father, since you went way, a lot has changed in the Empire, for us too. If we'd known that you were still out there, still alive, none of this would have happened. What do you mean? The truth is, if you must go, I will not stop you, but answer me this. Who is piloting the ruby weapon? We all know that Nail Vandaris has not returned from the dead. Who do you think? It was Milsandia. No, I refuse to believe that. Oh, that's fucked up. I refuse to believe that you would let that happen. She was a sister to you, to all of you. You only want to finish what you started. And while we would never forget what all you have done for us, the next time we meet, it shall be as enemies. Goodbye, Father. As for you, hero of Eorzea, pay for what you did to Benfilia, I swear it. You'll pay for what you did to Melisandria, I swear it. Well, I may be a little tired. Gaius wasn't exaggerating when he spoke of your prowess in battle. Unfortunately, it seems a fair few problems remain, and unlike the ruby weapon, it might take more than brute force to solve them. After Gaius and I faced the ruby weapon, I had thought it to be all but indestructible. I'm glad to be proven wrong on this occasion. Said, well, Gaius Van Belsar, we meet again. Come to see how your precious weapon project has been proceeding in your absence, have you? You're come to collect data on the ruby weapon, correct? The pilot, Melisandre, should still be inside the cockpit. I will ask Van Dolen to escort you to the wreckage. Any idea who this Melisandre is? An imperial crony of his, perhaps? One of the orphans. Gaius always did have an eye for talent and a mind to nurture it. In fact, Livius Anjunus was another protege of his. He even took me under his wing when my father became obsessed with the Meteor Project. It's strange that I felt closer to Gaius than my own flesh and blood. Then my father and countless others lost their lives in the Boja incident. Although he was acting under Emperor Solus's orders, he masterminded the whole thing. I begged him to reconsider, to put an end to this madness, but my words fell on deaf ears. That's when I turned to Gaius for support. but he was as much a pawn of the Emperor as my father and refused to intervene, and when my turn came to serve, I defected and fled to Eorzea. I blame Gaius as much as any of them, perhaps even more for the barbaric acts carried out in the name of conquest. But when we met at the Praetorium, all the hatred that had been festering inside me seemed to fade away, and I remembered the man I once respected. To think the dreaded Black Wolf was a mere plaything of the Ascians, who left him broken and disgraced, having sent thousands of his men to early graves, is more than most could bear, and now the lives of the children he raised hang in the balance. Any personal grievances I have with Gaius can wait. I'd best gather what information I can on the ruby weapon, but I'll be back as soon as possible. If the cockpit remained intact, we may be able to glean information from the pilot. If Sid is as I remember him, it will not take him long to finish investigating the remains of the ruby weapon. He never was one to waste time. My engineers are still in the field, but there's something I thought you should know right away. It's about the pilot. I'm not sure how to tell you this, but if Mills Ondia is dead, I only hope she was not made to suffer. Death would have been a kindness. In all my years, I've never seen such a perversion of science and nature. Her body was fused with the ruby weapon's core. Those last moments must have been spent in pure agony as her very life essence was drained from her. So she was sacrificed to power that infernal machine. Damn. We must act quickly if we are to prevent the Empire from committing further atrocities. Yo, is there any other information you can share with us regarding the ruby weapon prior to its deactivation? Nail Vendarnus, did the Legatus mean that much to Melisanda? From what I gather, it sounds as if data based on Nail's combat capabilities was used to override the pilot's consciousness after she was fused with the core. If this technology is perfected and the Empire begins implanting the memories of renowned warriors such as the White Raven into its soldiers, the Alliance won't stand a chance. Is such a thing even possible? Yes, it seems that such crystals are in common use throughout Eorzea. An ancient but effective means of passing on knowledge from one generation to the next. While it may bear some similarities, we won't know for certain until we've analyzed the wreckage of the ruby weapon. If I cannot be denied that combining combat data from an experienced soldier with the powers of an icon has yielded remarkable results, I cannot be denied. Yeah. But in doing so, the Empire has sunk to the very depths of depravity. This is beyond forgiveness. For once, I agree with you. Yet one question remains unanswered. How were they able to obtain data on someone who was supposedly killed prior to the calamity? That's what I'm trying to determine. There is one possibility I'd like to explore, but I'll need to carry out a more thorough investigation first. Severa will provide support while you are on the field. Not only is she extremely well versed in the latest in Garlean technology, there are a few soldiers I would rather have watching my back. In the meantime, Van Dolen and I will follow the Ruby weapon's tracks back to its point of origin. We will learn what we can of the weapons project and the manner in which Alphonse and the others are involved. Should we uncover anything of value, we will relay it to the troops stationed here. For now, I suggest you use this lull in Garlean activity to recuperate. Would I be correct in guessing that this belated reunion with those darling orphans of yours has stirred up some memories of your time in Garlemald? Remember our agreement, Gaius. If you so much as think of returning to your Imperial masters, I will kill you. So you put down the ruby weapons? God, I wish I could have seen it. Not from too close, mind. Suppose I should report the news of your victory to the higher-ups. I realize you must have been through quite the ordeal, but could you give me a quick summary of the battle? You make it sound so easy. From the way you tell it, anyone would think you slay hulking brutes like that for a living. I'll put all of this into a report and leave a copy over there, should you fancy a bit of light reading. Anyway, I expect you've got more pressing matters to take care of, like going for a celebratory pint. If the Garleans pluck up the courage to come knocking again, we'll let you know. Until then, rest up. Meanwhile, in the World Magitech installation, we should have told him the truth. He'd be able to help us, I know he would. That's exactly the problem, Allie. If he knew the true nature of the weapon project, he'd find some way to interfere. We've come too far to back down now. I won't let Melisandre's death be in vain. Even if that means going against Father's wishes. Cheer up, Alphonse. We can all go back to being one big happy family after we've dealt with those pesky Eorzeans. It'll be just like old times. If only it were that simple. There's no guarantee any of us will make it back alive. Excuse me, I think you're forgetting whose turn it is next. O ye of little faith, with me at the helm of the sapphire weapon, it will be over before you know it. Whatever happens, Rex, promise you'll come back to us. I couldn't bear to lose you too. I have to say, that was the most exhilarating battle I've never dreamed that I would have the chance to see such ferocious war machina with my own eyes. You might find it odd that a citizen of Eorzea would be so excited by something sent by the Garleans to slaughter us in the thousands, but as an avid follower of all things gigantic and mechanical, I just can't help myself. Oh, to be able to pilot such a majestic creation, perhaps I should defect to the Empire and offer my services. Ever since the time of the original Ultima weapon, I have fallen in love with this fusion of Allagan and Garlean design. It takes my breath away. So much so that I used my spare moments at the Ironworks to develop a line of miniatures, and now you recently vanquished a foe shall be inspired of my next endeavor. Would you do me the honor of casting your gaze across the piece once it's completed? Wow, both answers are really mean. Holy shit. Did you say something? Whatever it was, I'm sure you were offering heartfelt words of encouragement. It's the support of fans such as yourself that makes this such a worthwhile hobby. Your choices matter. Yep. I'm proud to say my work adorns the homes of many like-minded machina lovers. The Ultima Weapon and Magitech Reaper miniatures, to name but two of my creations, are especially popular. Of course, I wouldn't be much of an engineer if I only made inanimate ornaments. Behold, I have restored the Allagan relic, added a few flourishes of my own, and dubbed it the Real Virtuality Combat Simulator Experientiator. By feeding it various pieces of data, such as images of my replicas and so on, it is able to recreate a range of combat scenarios. For research purposes, of course, not entertainment, oh no. I can see you're practically chomping at the bit to give it a try. There's no stopping you, interpret adventure types. It won't be long until my latest work is complete. All that remains are one of two final adjustments, so don't go anywhere. Of late, all I can think about is weapons, weapons, weapons. I channeled this passion into crafting homages of my favorite war machina, which is more than a mere hobby, it's the wind of my sails. The ruby weapon, a fine choice. Please allow me a moment to prepare. Feast your eyes on the likeness of the Crimson Conqueror, the Vermilion Villain, the Scarlet Scoundrel, the one and only ruby weapon. As I am sure you remember, its most prominent characteristics were its impregnable armor plating atrocity depicted here and its long, flexible claws, which are, well, you just have to imagine those for now. The head and arched neck are somewhat reminiscent of a ravenous void-scent, which may be the result of having absorbed a primal, possibly even one summoned by those resisting the Empire. In that sense, it could even be considered an ally of sorts. There we go. Getting carried away as usual. I can tell you of sorts about as much information as you can handle from it now, so why don't we fire up the real virtual combat simulation experientiator? You'd best brace yourself, because even I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. Good job, John. Oh, that's cool. Alas, I am lacking in fresh inspiration, and I fear that without the necessary stimulation, my tools will be left to gather dust. Okay, so that's how you get extremes for these. I guess that makes sense because Minstrelling Wanderer isn't the first, so how could he? Anyway. Yo, I'm afraid we haven't much in the way of information to share from the front line. We have, however, received word that Gaz wishes to speak with you at Alliance headquarters. I've arranged an escort to take you to headquarters, so when you're ready to depart, speak with the fellow over there. I wouldn't like to hazard a guess at exactly what it is your presence is required for, but it's probably not the sort of thing that can be put off until later. Ready to head out? Good, you're here. The Ironworks have completed their analysis of the Ruby weapon, and Sid Garland wishes to share his findings. I take it you can spare a few moments? Very good, please wait here while I inform him of your arrival. Glad you could make it, yo. I'm sure you're as anxious as anyone to hear what we've uncovered. Our early hypothesis was proven correct. The Garleans have designed a system whereby a pilot's consciousness can be forcibly supplanted with data based on the memories and experiences of another. So even a rank amateur could obtain the combat capabilities of a seasoned warrior. Precisely, and when we learned how this was made possible when we opened the cockpit, the monitors were still operational, and among the messages displayed, one particular phrase caught my attention: synthetic aurosite system. Which is what exactly? Well, the core of the Ultima weapon was referred to as the Heart of Sabbac by the Ascians, who believe it to have been a type of aurosite. I can't say much for the synthetic sort of this stage, but I've encountered real aurosite before. It was extremely potent, perhaps equal in power to the Heart of Sabbac. It's unclear whether the Garlean Cymrarium possesses the same properties as genuine Orsite, but I intend to follow this avenue of inquiry to see where it leads. What we do know is that it was used to implant the combat data of Neil Van Darnus into the pilot, who has been presumed dead since before the calamity. Are you any closer to discovering how they were able to retrieve this data? The link didn't occur to Gaius at first, but he later told me of devices fitted to the magic tech armor of the Empire's high-ranking officers. Devices. Interesting. There is a reason to believe they were designed to emulate the soul crystals used throughout Eorzea. Yes, that was rumored to be its true purpose. But it was never publicly acknowledged. Perhaps those in the upper echelons of command wanted to avoid comparisons to the so-called savages they were meant to be conquering. There is also the question of whether the system even functions as intended. From what we've seen, we can assume they were successful in gathering combat data of those wearing armor equipped with the device. If the comparison with the Soul Crystal is valid, perhaps this data was transferred via ether. However, it seems that it extracted not only memories relating to combat, but the soldier's very essence. As you saw, the pilot succumbed entirely to the will of Van Darnus. Though this was merely supposition, it's possible that being fused with the Ruby Weapons core accelerated the process caused and deceased Legatus to manifest in corporeal form. Could it be that the death of the pilot was caused by the system malfunctioning? It's hard to say. The Ruby weapon itself was still largely intact when it deactivated, which strongly implies that it was the synthetic Orsite turning amok that killed her, rather than the damage incurred during the battle. But even after our analysis, I'm afraid we still don't have enough information. For now, perhaps we should consult with Gaius as our next plan of action. Gaius will know how best to proceed. I still need to get to the bottom of how the synthetic Orsite system works, and whether the pilot's fusion with the core was a malfunction or planned from the start. I have just returned from my reconnaissance, and I shall reveal my findings before taking a long overdue rest. Van Dolen has come bearing vital information. I traced the Ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Werlet, which appeared to be where it was built. While Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Grimlet, Werlet lies on the opposite side to the east. It was once a proud and prosperous city, until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders. You seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me. I thought that much was common knowledge. It is also where Alphonse and the others were born. Alphonse. And now the weapon project has brought them home. Yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They have established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Ten Cliff. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago. This bodes ill indeed. Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Ten Cliff presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we were able to secure a vessel. Or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all. As the crow flies, in fact, this is the perfect chance to put my top secret plan into action. And might I ask what that entails? It wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? What I can say is there's a starring role planned for you, Yo. Why are you so surprised? You didn't think I'd let you get off so easily, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere. Many Imperials who fought at Gimlet withdrew to World, though they will have had ample time to recuperate by now. Were we to approach by land, we could expect considerable resistance. I must admit, I am not fond of surprises, or secrets for that matter. I see Sid still delights in keeping others in suspense. I can only hope he does not make us wait over long. Hey. Here it is, yo. I present Garland Ironworks' adaptation of the Ultima Warrior, the G Warrior. Do I get a Gundam? I know elegant designs when I see it excavated from one of their ruins, no doubt. Aslia, to be precise. We came across it during the course of our investigations and decided it would be a shame to let it go to waste. And you will be taking this refitted relic to face the enemy head-on, yes. Perhaps my knowledge of the Ultima weapon will be of use. I'm counting on it, as it happens, but first we'll need to perform a test run in the simulator before throwing you into battle. Come, we haven't much time. Yo. Should have just kept the shield on. Okay. Incredible, but how does it compare to the weapons? I suppose that in theory any one of us could be the pilot, but I dare say your preternatural abilities give you a certain advantage. Back for more training, eh? No. Please, no. Well, if you change your mind, you know where to find me. Are you sufficiently prepared? Then we shall depart for Turncliffe at once. Seems they were expecting us, but who is the pilot? Yo, we're almost there. You better have your wits about you. Now get ready to strike. That sounds awfully familiar. I can't afford to lose. It's all or nothing. Activating Oversoul. I have Dress Combat Sample ready. Initiating Organic Core Override. No, I can't hold on. I will be monitoring the situation from the air, follow my instructions, and eliminate the target. God damn it. Okay, I gotta line that up perfectly. Shit. Did I miss one, or... take a break. I'll be back.